Oh hey, welcome to How to Grow a Beard. Number 1, it's going to be genetics. Number 2, patience. And number 3, sculpting. You don't want to sculpt the beard in order... Hey, where are you going?
So now that we got the advice you've heard a million times out of the way, we're gonna go over the real secrets how to grow a thick, luscious, buff dude style beard.
We're doing a beard video? Oh hell yeah!
Now it is true, beard oil is good, but it's only one of many tasty treats this beard is gonna need to grow big and strong. And one of those many tasty treats for your beard is gonna be dirt. And I'm not talking about any kind of dirt, I'm talking about dirt from the tallest mountain dirt.
Oh yeah, beard dirt!
You're also gonna need sawdust. How much sawdust? Lots of it.
Beard food.
And music. Much like a baby or a plant, it's gonna need the soothing sound and melodies to make it grow. And don't forget to exercise. I'm not talking about for the body, I'm talking about for the beard.
Beard training.
Okay, your beard is looking nice and buff, but now you have to let your furry face friend express itself. From learning a new instrument to teaching itself fine art. A happy beard is a healthy beard. So how do you know this is all working? Well, one good indication is when your beard starts growing its own beard.
Beard on beard.
Beard on beard.
Now that you've followed all our tips and you're growing one hell of a beard, temptation might just strike, but one thing you can never do is shave your beard.
Never shave the beard. Never.
and gentlemen, you're listening to yet another episode of Rogan Radio live from the friendly confines here on the campus of the luxurious Castle Rogan Lumber Report.
Hello!
Hello,
Would you like to
everybody.
keep the music going?
Oh, yeah. Keep that music flowing.
Keep it real.
Hey,
low
listen.
in the
Here we go.
background
Here we
all
go.
the time.
Mari.
Yeah.
Mari.
Hi, guys.
Give me something. Rock it out in Spanish right now.
Estoy muy orgullosa que va a venir Navidad.
Yeah.
You too, Mari.
Sounds good.
She could have probably just told us all.
Oh, probably did.
I probably cursed you all. Yes, I did. Feliz Navidad. There you go. There we go. Everybody understands that one.
Wait a minute. It ain't
So
Thanksgiving
I'm
yet.
listening to the music that you're playing. I look up on the monitor and there's a bunch of crabs dancing. Not sure where you got
Where did
this
those
from.
crabs go? You got crabs?
Yeah, they're happy crabs.
And so do you.
They're very happy crabs.
They are happy crabs on a crabby island.
It's crabbing. That's what it is.
Yes, Brucey. Look at all those crabs. Oh, my.
Listen, we have an absolute full house. Mari is in here. Jeff's in the background. We have freaking Cindy out there, and the one, the only.
Yep.
We have Cuddles from
Cuddles.
back from the dead, man. You haven't been here for
6 months.
Cuddles is back.
Absolutely.
Guess who's back? Back
Cuddles.
again.
Cuddles is back. Where you been hiding, man? No one's going to hear you, but where you been hiding?
Around.
Around.
A
He's
man of
been
little
around.
words. Very few words.
I talked to him. I don't know about you guys.
I don't ever talk to him.
Well, we're gonna have.
I don't even like him. Mark who? Mark who? Who? Oh, we can't. No one can hear your insults. No one can hear your insults.
Oh, that was
Wow.
good, Cuddles.
Get
Wow.
up. Michelle, leave.
Here's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to
Give
talk.
Cuddles a microphone.
We're going to talk about some Veterans Day action. We brought Mari in here. Mari, you have a great topic we're going to talk about. Just give us a real quick synopsis, and then we'll get into a little
Just
bit.
talking about remembering those guys and women overseas and during the holidays and just giving them a shout out and thanking them for all that they do.
Absolutely.
And different ways that you can remember them.
Absolutely, fantastic for that
Yeah,
because you know
absolutely.
a lot of times like you're finding out now. I mean, Jeff's going to be going. You know, he's down in Georgia now, and you're going to be home, and you guys are going to be separated for the most part, which is part of the worst part about
Absolutely.
being in service like that because you know you're doing your stuff, you know, and it's difficult on not only the service member but also the family members at
the
the same time.
families,
You're
especially
brand
during
new
the.
military wife, right?
I am. I'm
First
brand
time used
new.
to this, all
First
this?
time. So
good
I'm new to
luck.
this. I do not claim to be an expert at all, but it's just ways you can help out and get through the holidays and just
Yeah.
remember them and thank them for their service.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Because Cuddles is here, we're also going to have a moonshine tasting.
Oh.
It's going to be like we're
You're a
down
little
in-
behind, brother, because some of us has already been tasting.
Where you been?
Everybody can still see, right? Everybody,
Almost.
nobody's okay. That's good
We're
because
just, it's getting
it's
hot
gonna-
in here.
we're going to be like we're down in Gatlinburg, and we're going to have it's going to be Cuddles Moonshine Distillery, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to try different moonshine that he brought up, and we also have a great top 10 list. Listen, one thing that I've always said is if I hit the lottery and got millions and millions of dollars, I was not going to quit my job. What I was going to do though, the next day go to work naked and see how long it was going to take for them to arrest me, because that would be kind of bizarre to see a mailman walking down the street delivering. And I just wanted to see.
Might
because-
keep you around.
know-
just
You
for
know
the
what's
comedy.
really interesting? The top 10 that was picked out for tonight is the top 10 reasons to come to work naked.
Strangely
Very
enough, what a
appropriate.
coincidence.
Very
What a coincidence. So we're going to talk about that too. I want to thank you once again for listening. Go ahead and tell your friends, your family, your neighbors, your dogs, go ahead and share this thing. And what we're going to do right now, we're going to give you some shout outs. So what we would like to do is see where you're from, where you're calling from, where you're writing from. We're not taking calls tonight, so I shouldn't, that's a radio deal there.
Yeah.
Let us know who's on. Where are you calling from? We're going to shout you out right now. Who's on here? Give me some emoji while we're doing this.
Rachel
action.
Stonebreaker.
Rachel Ashby, Carol Miller,
Todd Howell.
Jesse back.
Jesse back,
Rachel Ashby.
Hello, Rachel.
We got, let's see,
Beverly Quinn,
Benny T,
Dr. Hall.
We got Christy Fisher Scott,
Craig
How about
Hope.
Carol Saunders. She says hello.
Ooh, I want to give a shout out to my mom and
Yes,
Jacob.
Rebecca
Yeah.
Gonzalez.
Ooh, hi.
Hola.
And Jacob.
Hola.
Jacob watching.
Jacob's watching.
Hi, Jacob.
Bartender
Jacob.
Mike.
Bartender Mike is on.
Donnie Stonebreaker. Donnie Stonebreaker.
Hello, Tara. Donnie Stonebreaker saw Donnie the yesterday during the Shinson Veterans Day parade.
Yeah. You know what? That guy right there, he's a good dude.
Donnie is a good dude.
Donnie's a good dude.
Donnie is a
Yeah,
good
he
dude.
is.
I've known Donnie for a long time.
Judy Hall's on here.
Hello, Judy. St. Jude too.
That would be the wife of Dr. Hall.
Dr. Hall
Dr. Hall's on, and he's upset that he's not here for Mark Cuddles.
for Cuddles moonshine
Moonshine
tasting.
Moonshine
Have to
tasting.
save him some.
That's what he said, not fair.
Yeah, well,
The last time we had a big moonshine tasting was probably Darren's wedding, and that's when Matthew.
That was a big one.
That's when
Big one.
it seemed there for a while that we had this show on the road when it came to weddings, and it was like it started out I think with Michelle and I's, and then that's when Michelle lost her keys, and everybody in the place was looking
Yes.
for her keys, but she found them in her pocket,
Yeah,
strangely enough.
I did.
Then Cuddles and I had
Thank
to
God.
we had to take her out to eat that night after the entire thing was over
At
the
7-Eleven.
no, it was Speedway or something, BFS or whatever it was off
It's
79.
like, seriously, guys, it was my wedding night, and that's the kind of dinner I get.
Yeah.
Only the finest.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the next one comes, we had Matthew McConaughey at Darren's wedding, and then, you know,
Oh, all right, all right.
it was actually pretty good. He owed us a favor.
you got a couple people that I don't normally see
He
on
does
here,
look like him.
like Christopher Griffith and Chad Heldreth, Muff Heldreth. He's watching. That's a good thing.
Hey,
Cassie.
yeah, heck yeah.
Joyce
Paula
Maxwell. Haven't
Courtney.
seen Joyce for a long time. She's hello from was that Ormond?
Down in
Yeah, Ormond by the Sea.
Florida.
Cindy
Yeah.
Hardman's watching.
Yeah.
Wonder how she's
Never
doing.
heard of her.
Probably far away.
Hey, Joyce, what's the temperature right now in Florida? She's down
Yeah.
She's right down there by Daytona. It's like,
Yeah.
man, let me tell you something. Yesterday, it was cold here.
Yeah.
And it really, I mean, we're not even in the winter yet, but it was like, what, 35 degrees with some wind blowing, and
No.
everybody's like, oh.
Yesterday?
Yes,
At the
yesterday.
parade, it was
No,
28.
yeah.
Was it
Ooh.
28? Was that
But-
real, Phil, or was that
That-
actually 28?
No, it was 28.
Was
The
it?
real
Yeah.
Phil had to be colder because that wind.
That wind
Yeah.
was kicking up.
That wind was
Yeah.
horrible.
That
We
wind
had a
was-
great
was the
time
word.
yesterday.
Yeah.
The Veterans Day Parade yesterday in Shinston. They had a lot of people came out. You know, it was kind of cold though.
Yeah.
So it was.
It was a small crowd for parades, but for as cold as it was a pretty decent crowd.
Yeah, it was a very nice parade. David Miner and the Shinston Lions Club did a fantastic job, as they always have. Of
And,
putting that
and let
in
me
there.
tell you something. Watch the video that you put together earlier today.
Good stuff.
Absolutely fantastic.
Well, listen, you guys took the video. I mean,
Yeah.
so it was like Chad, Todd, and Derek went around town. Normally, I would fly the quad, but it was way too windy for that, so we
way-
decided
yeah,
not to
way
do
too
that.
windy,
Darren was on the bike with the American Legion Riders, so but you guys did a fantastic job. It's easy when I have enough stuff to work. I just put it together. You
Oh,
guys
I
are
was a
what-
nervous wreck. I honestly didn't think I got much of anything.
Well, I have to show you something. You have some great footage of your feet walking along the pavement.
Well, I knew I knew I had that.
Let me tell you, one thing
Between that and the AstroTurf over the past couple
Yeah.
videos.
Oh,
Well, there's
wow.
your asphalt documentary. I have the AstroTurf.
I'm going to tell you a little secret. I'm going to take 5 minutes of your time and let you know what happens when we do these videos, because it is a process that I don't think most people realize that it is a very big process. Normally we have 5 or 6 people going around with cameras, and then after all of that, we have, say if it's the thing's an hour long, then all of a sudden you add 6 cameras, the thing is 6 hours long, that you have to sit in the studio at that point and edit it and put it all together and then set music, and you have to kind of figure out how to do all that stuff. Well, at times, the bloopers, there should be a blooper reel.
We need to make a blooper.
You need one. Yeah,
Because-
definitely.
Well, that we
We would love to see it.
had 2 cameras last week.
I don't know about all that.
We had 2 cameras last week during at the Lincoln Cougar.
Cougar game.
The band had their senior night.
Yep.
And Michelle had one GoPro, and she was going to be on the 30, say on the
Bet that was
left
some
hand
good
side.
footage.
Well, it was great, Maury, because I'll
Yeah.
tell you what happened. she was watching the band more than she was her camera,
Oh,
which at that point
snap.
we have about 20 minutes worth of AstroTurf. And some feet. Every now and then you would see some feet, but for the most part it's 20 minutes of
But if
AstroTurf.
anybody wants to do a documentary on AstroTurf,
We have it.
It's
I have
available.
the
Right.
footage.
It is available.
Now, the year before that, Jimmy set up a GoPro on a 30 on the opposite side. The nice thing about that video, it was upside down. So that was really good. That was really good.
That's the last one of the devil.
And then on the 50, we had a GoPro this past Friday. This is just some of the problems, the funny things that we deal with. It was normally we had this great shot of them coming right up to 50. Well, we didn't get any of that, but we have one hell of a nice picture.
Yeah.
That GoPro it wasn't in video mode; it was in picture mode. But last year, a couple years ago, we were doing a Christmas parade before we started going live, which we'll do it this year. I think it's December 1st is the Christmas
December
parade.
1st
in
is
Shinston.
Shinston.
Is that what it
Nah,
is?
what time?
Probably
I go by the band
Yeah, that's
calendar.
our-
I live by the
that's our
band
That's the
calendar.
one we have a Christmas party.
That's our union Christmas party
Yeah.
show.
And it was like that last year too, wasn't it? Or
Yeah.
the year with that we did the Mannequin
At
Challenge.
6
Mannequin
o'clock, I
Challenge.
think. I
Mannequin
think it's
Challenge.
Saturday, December 1st. I think it's
Well,
6
the
o'clock.
union, so those guys are out. So anyhow, we'll have to figure out a way. We'll make it happen. So anyway, what was funny is that 2 years ago we did this video for downtown, and this was about the time Michelle and I were first talking. Well, one of the crazy things that happens from time to time,
First time.
I had the video camera. And I got somehow mixed up in my brain to where I thought I was recording. You know, you hit the start and stop.
Yep.
Well, basically, I had it recording every time I thought it should be paused. So I'm walking, you see me walking down, talking to people, sidewalk. I pull it up to get a shot, boom, pauses. I don't get any of it. Then I go back down and I'm walking all around because I had it backwards in my brain. Which at times D-Mac had that same problem yesterday.
Yeah, I thought I hit the button, but I didn't, and then I was like, God damn it.
Yeah.
But whatever.
But you know what? That's why we have 18 different cameras because it's funny some of the things that we catch even when you talk to people.
Those bloopers, though, you know what I want to get?
Uh-oh.
When something goes wrong, I want that camera on you.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause I want.
Oh, no, you guys don't understand.
No, wait a minute. That bloopers comes into a bleeper real quick.
Yep.
You
It
guys-
definitely turns into a bleeper.
Everybody out there sees these beautifully finished videos.
Yeah.
But guess who has to live through the process of
You don't see him
Of
in
the
here
editing.
cussing like
I
a
just
truck
want to know
driver.
who does everybody's hair and makeup, before the show.
Well,
yeah,
it's-
that's a definite, behind the scenes video.
Yeah, that would be a good one too.
That would. I
obviously.
Well,
think
I'll
so.
tell you right now, real treat.
Yeah, you know what? It takes for every minute that you see on video, it takes about an hour to actually make
Absolutely.
that
Oh, wow.
minute.
Yep.
So if you have a 3-minute video, that's about 3 hours right off the top.
The senior night Lincoln video took you, what, 8 to 9 hours?
Yeah. Well, actually,
it was
it's
about 8 to
it was
9
about
hours.
eight and a half
so that
hours.
was 8 to 9 hours that I did not see him, that he was in here, and then he did some cussing. And, of course, when he got to my video, he did a lot of cussing. And so, yeah.
Yeah. So we did
There's-
that, but it's fun when it's all
It is
done.
fun when
The
it's
finished
done.
product is beautiful.
But I just don't think people realize, like,
Yeah, there's a lot into it, but
There's a lot to
but
get
it's
in.
fun. That's what we
It
like
really
about
is.
it.
We love doing
The
it.
entire thing is.
What's cool is when we originally started this, you would leave that thing recording even when we weren't on air. So
Right.
we caught some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Now he kind of turns it on right before we go on air, so
Yeah.
he misses a lot.
Well, the reason we do that is because we had one of us running for political office,
Yeah.
another one wasn't running, so it was like we don't need any. We already know from the Nixon tapes, don't hit record, don't hit record.
Don't record.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, we're coming up on the holidays. Today is Veterans Day, and Maury, you're in here, and we're going to talk about some great stuff today because
Absolutely.
as you're figuring out, which a lot of people have,
Yeah.
when it comes to having loved ones and the service members, and you have to get split apart. Sometimes it's if you're in theater, it could be a year. Who knows how it all happens.
Absolutely.
So so far, congratulations on you and Jeff being married.
Thank you.
You have all kinds of crazy stuff going on.
I do.
And you guys have a house.
But all good.
Yeah,
All good things.
absolutely.
House.
You just had triplets. I mean, congratulations on that. I'll tell you what.
Oh, snap.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Congratulations. If you need any more sperm donated, just ask me. I'll give you all you.
oh my God. You're very good.
Listen, Jeff's right there. I'm just playing. He knows that. But congratulations once again. That's fantastic. You guys are fantastic.
Thank you.
So,
I'm very happy.
So Jeff's kind of surprised you about coming in this weekend.
He did. Absolutely.
awesome.
He was supposed to be gone for the next 2 months, and so he surprised me this weekend.
And you
Yeah.
came
But
here. You came
here.
Wow.
He came here, and I came here. Yeah.
Jeff.
Yeah. No,
Sweep
definitely.
her away from this place.
He is. It's amazing how, one person can drive several hours just to see you, and it makes
Right.
such a difference.
Right.
Yep.
And see us and the
And
kids.
then you come and waste your time in this building.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean.
But that's love. That's true love.
No, most
So,
certainly it is.
absolutely.
So let's get talking.
Okay.
Chit chat.
All right. Chit chat.
Tell us about the wreath program.
Okay, so the Wreath program happens nationwide within the United States every December 15th. So it's coming up, it's fast approaching. And so there are currently 1,400 locations within the United States where you can participate. You can either do 3 things, either sponsor a wreath, volunteer, or invite somebody to lay the wreaths. They do this at the Arlington National Cemetery, but you can also participate and help out within your community. So here in West Virginia, they have over 10 different locations. So it's something that you can, if you don't want to go out in the snow, I don't blame you, but it's definitely something if you want to sponsor a wreath, you just have to, it's a way of helping and remembering those who've served in the past, whether it's your grandfather, someone's grandfather, a father, you know, just your way of paying respect and thanking those servicemen and women, you know, during the holidays. Because too often, I think, you know, we get involved in so much of the Black Friday shopping, we get involved in so much of like the deals, and we kind of forget the true meaning of why we're here today, because of those men and women that made the ultimate sacrifice.
Sure, I mean, in a lot of ways, I mean, that's the entire thing, is because, you know, like, just like with the video today, it was all about basically you on paper could have anything. You can have the right to this, the right to this, the right to this. You can have the right to that, but unless somebody actually stands up and protects that, be it through foreign, you know, the history of the world has all been about countries trying to take over each other, blah blah blah. One nice thing about the United States is that, you know what? We've had, you know, for the most part, most of the time, volunteers that go out just around the world, half the time you don't even know what they're doing, and then kind of protecting our way of life while we're back here sitting on the couch watching the Patriots get ripped by the Titans today, drinking beer, eating nachos, stuff like that. And we're not even thinking about in actuality, what it's taken for so many other people, their sacrifice to make that happen.
Absolutely. And like I said, you know, I'm a new military spouse, so I'm in no means claiming that I'm a, you know, experienced professional in this, but it was just, you know, I was missing him terribly, and I was wondering, you know, what ways could I help out? What ways could I make, you know, my contribution? I mean, and there's so many different great programs, but this is one that definitely struck a chord with me. And so my son and I were going to definitely, you know, on December 15th at one of the national cemeteries, we're going to go and lay wreaths on their tombstones.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Awesome. Yeah.
But
you know, I think one of the worst things they ever did was open up stores on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
Now that they do that, because I mean, it already stunk that, you know, the day after you sit there and give thanks, like what she's saying.
Right.
The next day we're like beating people up to get.
It's not
stuff,
even the next day. It's that same.
It's the same day, and you know. That used to be a day where you would just sit at home and just spend time.
Be with your family.
Thanks.
I remember when the only thing open on Thanksgiving Day was a gas station, and that
Exactly.
was so the people had fuel to get to their families.
Yes. Yeah.
And that was it. And you were lucky if they had somebody working long enough inside. If you had to get a snack or a pop or something, you know.
Yeah, and then then Black Friday swooped in, but now you'll notice, like Jimmy was saying, now Black Friday turned into, well, okay, let's just do
Start
it
6 o'clock
6
on
o'clock
Thursday
on a
night.
Thursday
That's
night
right.
instead of Black Friday morning,
Yep.
and then we'll get a jump on these. Then everybody's doing it, and people are like this. Zoom, 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 zoom.
Each hour will start a
They gotta
different
eat.
sale to keep people here.
Yeah, they got to eat so they can get to the stores. I'm
Yeah.
like, come on.
What a shame.
No time to sit there.
But it really is very simple. It's just something you just go on that website, wreathsacrossamerica.org, and you can honestly, every little bit makes a difference. Like there's one cemetery that only has 3 volunteers. I mean, imagine the hundreds of tombstones that are at each cemetery here within West Virginia, and that, you know, every little bit that you can help. And it does make a difference, you know, even every little bit. Like if you're sponsoring a wreath, every little portion, every little dime helps.
Well, that's what I'm showing on the map. There's actually 14 locations just in West Virginia. Now, if you look nationwide, which if you could go, it'll load up. There are just places upon places upon places upon places. And once again, all you need to do is go to wreathsacrossamerica.org. We put a link in there. Check out the information though, because I've never really heard of it, and I'm glad you brought it up, Maury.
So our big one is in Grafton. Is
I
that
would
our
say.
closest one.
The
Grafton?
National Cemetery, yes, in Grafton National Cemetery.
Yeah.
Right there.
That's an awesome place too.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. But
Don't try to fly
just
a drone.
as somebody, and listen, we're wanting everybody across the whole United States to get involved in something like this and everything. But I do want to make sure everybody in West Virginia remembers, per capita, we have more military servicemen and women and veterans than any other state in the United States.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
And that always goes back to what I said. We're the most resilient people on the planet.
That's right.
That's why.
And that's and
Mountaineers, buddy.
Yep.
And that's very good though. But that's so you know that's going to be pretty good. Now, how are you going to deal with this? I mean, have you actually thought about now, because you never know what it's going to be. You know, as far as Jeff and his service goes, have you thought yet? Because you're not really accustomed to dealing with being a military wife. You know, this is all brand spanking new.
It is brand spanking
So you have you do have a support system. Say Christy and Michelle and Gloria. You know, you
All
have
the
the
girls
girls and
and my
all
mom.
that, and mom and all that
absolutely.
stuff. So I mean, are you kind of how long Jeff? Well, how long has Jeff been gone so far?
He was gone a few weeks. A few weeks.
2 weeks.
He was gone 2 weeks.
How bizarre did that feel?
It was difficult. I missed him terribly.
Yeah.
Jacob missed him terribly. His daughter missed him terribly. My mom did. We all missed him terribly.
Right.
It was rough.
And then what's your support? Because here's what I'm. And the reason I'm asking this because there are a lot of people, say in active military right now, active duty, and they're being shipped all over the place.
Yep.
However, you have the family members at home, and what I'm asking for because firsthand you know this experience. What would be a good recommendation, or how are you dealing with this? So maybe that can help somebody else out in the process of so they don't get into a depression, say, or they, you know what I mean? Because it'd be very easy to do that.
No, one of the best things was one of my best friends. Her name is Megan, and she's a military wife. She's been a military wife for 10 years, and she's just kind of helped me and guided me and kind of led me into what I can do, you know, how I can help my community, different types of just, you know, spending time with family members, spending time with your community, really getting to know just that there's so much more that you can contribute. And I think so having those military wives around you that have had the experience, the years of experience that can guide you and say, this is what I did, this is how I got through it. I think that's really helped me get through it.
Right.
And let me, you know, I understand he's not overseas, but even him being away during the holidays is tough.
Sure. He's not home. You know,
he's not
10,000 miles or 10 miles, not home.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So relying on other military wives definitely helps. Getting into that group, that network, that support, and even just my closest friends, the girls, just saying, you know, hey, if you need anything, if you want me to stop over, just knowing that I have that support system. So reaching out to other military wives or even our close group of girlfriends, knowing that they're always there.
Now that you're going through this,
Yeah.
you'll find out who your real friends are.
That's true.
You know,
you really do.
You really, really do.
Because
the ones that'll be there for you.
And you're also going to find some that you never even knew existed, and you have you have that one thing in common, and it's going to be so kind of cool because everything, as much as it can be different, is exactly the same at the same time.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's going to be really cool because you know what? It's not like Jeff and the boys don't have that same problem. Also, it's not like they want to be anywhere else. They want to be home with their wives and family. So you know how they dealing with that. Right. You know what I mean?
And then you have to deal with the everyday challenges of family, the good, the bad, the ugly, and it's just having. You're right. Definitely, you're right about that support system. Even a little text or a phone call makes a difference. Knowing that you're not alone, that support. It makes a huge world of difference.
See, that's when Todd was deployed one time, and this is how Todd dealt with it because you know he would be away from the family and things like that. So what Todd would do was would tour things to keep his mind off of aspects of being away from the family. He would go and tour things. You went to the Vatican, Vatican City. You did that. But one of the best stories I've ever heard from Todd, because one thing I've always wanted to do. The one thing that I've always wanted to do, Todd got to do, and that was actually go. He was right in front of the place.
Something with a pope?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like,
it was even cooler. It was even cooler than that.
Dracula's castle.
Dracula's castle.
Yep.
He was. He actually walked up to Dracula's castle and said, "You know what? I'm going to send the money home and not go in." And I was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
We had a tour, right? Because I was overseas and I was sending all my money home. I was keeping like $50 for myself.
Enough to make it the next payday.
Yeah, that's what it is. All I needed is
just
cigarettes.
what you need for shower, shave, shit, shampoo.
That's it. So everything was going home to her, and they had this. We went into the Black Sea, and we were doing some static displays. We went to Turkey and Romania and Bulgaria. Yeah. Well, they had an option where you could sign up to go on a tour, see Dracula's castle.
Dude,
the actual
jumped
castle.
all over that.
Oh yeah,
Todd did too. I mean, he got off the boat, he walked up the ramp, he got the brochure. I mean, every time he tells me the story, I'm excited. Continue, tell me. I love this story.
Well, come to find out, I didn't have enough money to go on the tour because I was sending it all home to my bride.
Well,
there's your story.
And let me tell you
She
something.
was spending it.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Mark and I and Vicky, we had one hell of a party, and we still, to this day, thank you for that. It was fantastic.
Yeah, but you know what? When I was over there, the support set. This is how it's nice now. You know, like you said, whether you're across the country or overseas. When Chad probably remembers, and Darren as well. When I was on, I don't know how many floats you guys did, but when we were overseas like that. The way that I had to call home to the wife was we used that Mars radio. That's
Yeah,
how we did.
that
on
was the
ship.
only way
Yeah,
back
yeah.
then.
You had to stand in line. You had to wait.
Other than that, you just let her.
Yeah, you sat down and the guy would ring everything up, and then you would hear her, and she
It
would.
was worse than waiting in line for the payphone.
Now, when Desert Storm come along, we actually had a payphone we could use once a month.
Yeah, they had to truck you there to get. And she would say, "Hey, I love you." Over, and you say, "I love you too. How are the kids?" Over, because every time they had over, they had to switch it.
Yep.
I'm doing real good. Over, switch it. I really do miss you. Over. I mean, that's how.
Hey, let me ask you
this.
this. Anytime you ever did that ever remind you of The Shining?
Because listen,
it did me, buddy.
We didn't have Skype, and we didn't have instant message. We didn't have cell phone. They didn't even know what a cell phone was back then.
Right.
So you have an advantage right now, and that's fantastic.
Right.
And you know what? Even though Jeff's not going overseas.
No, he's not going overseas. No.
You know what?
No.
Send him care packages.
Yeah,
that's the coolest.
Send him
That's a
some
good idea. pepperoni
rolls and homemade chocolates. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
love that.
Oh
Summer
yeah,
sausage.
especially when down in Georgia, he could sell them pepperoni rolls for $5 a pop.
I guarantee you.
You know what?
And that's giving him a deal.
He'll have access to stores and stuff, but not from you.
Not
from,
from
right
home.
from your oven. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
Yes.
So delicious.
No, but I think you're right. Like, definitely today,
Yeah.
like we're able to Skype, we're able to text,
Yeah,
we're able
so
to.
you can
I mean,
FaceTime.
Yeah, FaceTime. We didn't have any of that stuff.
Yeah, I still have never FaceTime. I couldn't even tell you how to.
You gotta put that one on the bucket list.
either.
Put that one on the bucket list. FaceTime.
Someone's
good.
FaceTime.
I'm good. Trust me.
Yeah, that Dracula's Castle was great.
Yeah. And it brings a
Now,
tear
see,
to
that's,
my
that's the cool thing about
Yeah.
being on non-combat type deployments is because you get to take tours like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you should.
Even myself when I was on a med float in '88, '89.
Yeah.
I actually got to go to Jerusalem.
See,
that's cool.
that's
See,
another one I
I've
didn't
been,
get to go to.
I've been to the Garden of Gethsemane, the room where the Last Supper was, the tomb, and and all that. It was really cool.
Oh, no,
man. It was
absolutely.
really
Hey,
cool.
listen, I've been to the Pittsburgh Zoo.
I've been
snap.
Hovatters.
Hey, Derek.
I've been
Derek,
somewhere
I've
I
been to
never been.
SeaWorld.
Yeah. That's what I was getting ready to say.
Shamu.
This is for you, Sandy. Sandy.
Dora.
The reason we do that is because Derek, he never got to go to SeaWorld.
Never.
He never
I did.
did.
I was promised. My
Like
mom
3
promised me.
times.
Dang. We went up there one time, Derek, just to use the bathroom and came back.
Yeah.
We're like, shh.
Yep. I understand.
That was it.
One day.
We're going to have a top 10 list
Still
coming
have
up.
never been there.
No, I've
It's
never
gone.
been there.
SeaWorld's gone now.
Gone.
It's closed down.
Yeah.
You
Really?
have to go to Florida.
Gotta go. Yeah, and here's the
Wait,
bad
what
part.
about the one in San Diego? Isn't there one? There's
I think there is one in San Diego.
Yeah, I've been to that one.
The one
Now,
Still open,
where
as
were
far
you
as I
going
know.
in?
It's probably
Michelle
awesome,
gets to see
wasn't it?
Shamu in the tub all the time.
Where were you playing in the rugby?
Leave her. Hey, listen. Leave her exes out of this conversation. She's a happy married woman.
There you go.
And leave Chuck's exes out also.
How are you pointing to Derek?
Hey, Michelle. No, wait a minute. I can control that. Talk. Go ahead. Talk,
Thank you.
Michelle. Say something. Oh, what?
Awesome. Thank you, Derek. D-Mac's got my back.
You know what, G-Mac? I thought you were my friend.
I
What?
thought he was
What?
too.
No, I'm
We
just
have
kidding.
a top
I
10
am.
list coming up. The top 10 reasons why you should go to work naked. But before we do that, Mark Cuddles Coffee is back in the studio. It's a glorious day. And he
is.
brought moonshine.
Glorious. Glorious.
So we're going to have a moonshine tasting.
Yes, we are.
Just sips, fellas, because we all have to drive home. Now, this first one, you guys already did all this stuff.
Nope.
How many do we have? How
I'm
many
good.
quarts do we have?
You go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm good too. I'm good.
Ooh,
I
oh
had to
my
hit the
goodness.
Yeah, you guys
Those
go
are the
ahead.
peaches. Hey,
Put your
listen.
lips all over that.
4.
We have 4 quarts.
4. Lemon.
4 different ones.
Apple. Butterscotch. What else?
Peach.
Oh, wait a minute. We
Put
need a
lips all over
blindfold.
that.
We need a blindfold. Mix them up, see if you can tell which one's which.
Hey.
Like you're not going to be able to.
That tastes like country butterscotch.
That's sour. It must be apple pie.
All right,
butterscotch tastes like lemon.
You never know.
All right. First of all, we're going to go ahead. So Chad you just tried because one thing. Let me tell you
That's
something.
the best one
real
out of
quick,
the bunch right
real
there.
quick about West Virginia. If you're from around the world, this place is notorious for moonshine. Everybody makes their own moonshine, and you have some moonshine that's good, and you have some moonshine that's fantastic.
Yep.
I want to tell you right now, that one Chad has, put your lighters away.
Now that's
Well, you know, the bad part about it is I had gotten some other stuff that was really, really good off of him the other day.
now
About a
listen.
month
Leave your
ago.
sex life out of this. Too. We've already talked about that.
You could not light it. That's how fine it was made. It was aerated right. I mean, there was nothing that you could light off of it. But boy, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Light you
Couple
up.
little sips, boy.
It warmed you right up.
Oh yeah.
So
That's what you got in your hand right there.
One
That'll
thing,
warm you up. buddy.
we haven't had a secret society meeting for a long time, but one thing about the
No.
secret society meetings is you don't eat the peaches, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Mark always
Yeah.
gives everybody a fair warning.
Yeah.
You don't eat anything. He'll let you know.
Ooh, wow.
Be careful.
Unless you're
And
not
it-
driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do not eat
Is
the
that-
peaches.
Do not.
that's the peaches.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I
that's,
wanted to
yeah.
try
Take-
it.
take
And
a sip of the lemon.
this is the
Wait, what do you have?
this is the butterscotch.
Okay.
Oh, butterscotch.
Here we go. And yep. Mm-hmm.
Cuddles, have you changed your recipe on that? Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, see,
Yep.
that's
Hush,
smooth.
French.
Yeah.
Hush, strict.
Now listen, Dr. Jack would love this.
All I remember is at your wedding, at Chuck and Michelle's wedding.
I don't remember much either, Orange. About one thing.
What do you remember? Tell me.
All I remember is Cuddles and I, we
hate to
walked
not
down the aisle
remember that.
together. He was my wingman. I was his wingman. And it was just like, all I remember is him bringing out all this moonshine. I was like, we're going to be lifelong friends.
Yeah.
And here we are
And
again.
that's when the Dreamsicle made a debut, right?
No, it was a different
Creamsicle?
flavor, peach or something.
No, because they drank that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
gone
that
rather
orange
quickly.
creamsicle or whatever it was. They drank that stuff.
Everybody
And
right,
it was the
right
creamsicle.
before
Yeah.
right before
Everybody
climb up
kept-
the
yeah, that's
stage.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, that's right.
It
That
was
stuff
one
was gone
good
before
wedding.
before the
It was.
vows.
Yep.
Yep.
Thanks, Darren.
It was.
Yeah.
It was gone before the vows.
Oh, that's true.
Right.
That makes me feel better, friends. Woo.
I'll tell you what, the peach is very good too.
I don't
That right
think
there.
Chuck even remembers the vows.
Oh, he should.
A-E-I-O and F-U.
Yep, he remembers.
Where is the
Excuse me?
love? That was
There was
so,
all kind.
Hello?
Where is
I
the
thought there. I
love?
thought
That
I
is
thought,
the
That was
love.
so hateful.
No, I thought
That
an F
was so
was.
hateful.
The F is a vowel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hateful friendship.
Give me something in Spanish right now.
Cool.
Um,
¿Cómo está, puta?
Oh my goodness! Thank God. Okay, all right. Thank God nobody knows those curse words.
Yeah, pendejos.
Oh my goodness! What
Listen,
did you learn?
listen. He's a world
Oh, my
traveler.
goodness.
Listen, he was stuck down in a Tijuana prison for 18 months.
Yeah, we'll tell you that story next. I got in there for free.
Oh my goodness!
He's like,
Cost
hey,
me when I actually hated leaving.
they told him it was a Mexican brothel. He was in there like Donkey Kong. Like, where's the
Pass
donkey
moonshine
show?
down, fellas. Pass it down.
Pass it down.
Pass
I know
it
they're
down.
being so
Hold on,
selfish.
hold on. Where we at?
Stingy,
Feliz
stingy.
Navidad y
So you
prospero
got-
año y
you got-
felicidad.
Nice.
There you go. See?
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got
Yes,
you got to
yes.
excuse Todd because he's muy loco and like a base.
Okay,
La
so Donnie
cabeza.
Everett said the orange creamsicle.
See.
Yeah, that's it. Orange cream.
I think it was the
Orange
orange
cream-
creamsicle.
that's what was
yeah,
at the
that was
wedding.
what was
Okay.
at the wedding.
Yeah, it didn't last very
Lemonade
long.
one. Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
she's a
Nope.
Hey,
Listen
Mark.
out. I'll pass on that one.
If you happen to have
Peaches.
one of
I'll
each
try
of these
peaches.
full jars, I'll owe you $100.
Hey.
He doesn't sell them.
He doesn't
He doesn't sell those. Yeah,
Good thinking. Good thinking.
No,
Did
it's
you-
he
did
meant
you
to
just-
say 100 V-bucks.
Yeah.
In
Did you just
bitcoins.
say, did you
Bitcoin.
just say
Bitcoins.
if you could drink a whole jar, you'd owe him $100?
No.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I was hearing
I
wrong.
said
man.
no. I
But he
said
can't, so he doesn't owe him
If he's got-
anything.
That's actuality.
Oh, the peach is
In
good.
actuality, this is all fake.
Peach is
This
good.
is all sugar water.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I like
Listen, what
the
we're doing,
peach.
Cuddles came up and we're having a moonshine
You
tasting.
tried that?
Yeah, that's what I told him.
Speaking of fall, don't forget the turkey
Brucey,
trot
you want
stuff.
some
Which one's that one?
peaches?
Yes.
Oh,
Because
they're
that's coming up
so
soon.
good.
We'll do that next
Yeah, let's talk about turkey trot.
turkey trot.
Last year's was cool.
Last year was a great turkey trot.
There we go.
Okay.
It really was.
I don't know
It was
what
a little
which one
chilly.
that one is.
They had record amount of people.
Yeah, they really did, actually.
Are you guys having like your
Good.
conversation?
All right,
Yeah,
so far
since none of you guys are talking on air, me and Todd are
we
going to
love.
talk on air.
No, Michelle and I were having a conversation about the peaches moonshine. Delicious.
As you can
Amazing,
tell, one thing
wonderful.
that when we started this thing, one thing it was always going to be is like a deck party. We were all just going to stand around like we were on a deck, and as you can tell, at times we just do that, and it's fantastic. That's why we
By the way,
encourage.
you got a pretty big deck.
Thank you.
Hey, I happen to like his deck.
Hey,
Beck.
that's a nice deck. That's what I
I'm
mean.
telling you, it's the best deck I've ever seen.
It's a big deck.
I spent a lot of time on that deck.
Polishing that deck all bad up.
As you polish that deck.
Yeah.
Michelle, I'm glad when you got here because it was all beat up and chipped, and you,
Well, you know.
sanded that thing down, polished it up.
Well, yeah, I know, but sometimes I
It
have
was
to
as
knock.
rough as shoe leather.
It was.
I know. Sometimes I got to knock Todd off the deck to get to the deck.
Exactly.
But I knock him off the deck, and it's all my deck.
Yeah, she nailed that deck down, buddy. She
I
nailed
know.
that
I
deck.
love deck.
Deck time.
Parties.
Deck time.
Yeah.
Deck parties. Gotcha.
It's getting out of hand quick.
Now, what if we have actually two decks? So do you like two decks at one time?
I've never been on the other deck.
Oh.
The upper and the
Yeah,
lower.
yours is a multi-level deck.
Listen,
I have not ventured there yet.
listen. That is one of the most.
Tis the season.
Feliz Navidad.
Here, hold this.
Feliz not you, Todd. What is it? It's not Spanish.
That's what it sounded like, Jeff.
I know that's what it sounded like. Feliz not you, Todd.
Yeah.
What the hell is she talking about?
Oh,
Stay out the moonshine. Feliz not you, Todd.
Feliz night, you Todd.
That's what she said,
Oh,
Jim.
babe.
No.
Okay.
No. No.
No, what is it? Go with it. Go with it.
Look at
Go
Derek's
with it.
face. Look at Derek's face.
Go with it. You're sweating. You have to. You want to say it? Just do it.
I will, but we got to. It's
Okay.
not the right time.
Everybody, close your eyes. Okay, look.
After the show.
Okay, everybody, close your eyes. Don't look at
Okay.
Derek so he can
Close
tell
your
us.
eyes.
Nobody look.
right,
Nobody
He's got
look.
stage
I
fright.
need you to be ready for this because it's going
I'm
to be.
ready.
Are you ready for
Okay,
it?
hold on. Hold
on.
Okay,
Like
hold on.
Tay-Tay
Hold on.
Swift
Hold
would
on.
say.
I
Hold
think-
Okay, take a deep breath.
Hold on.
Find
Breathe.
your chi.
Breathe.
Find that chi.
You ready?
Okay, yeah.
It's
Your inner chi.
it's Feliz Navidad.
Feliz. This Saturday, you can check out Vaughn Haggerty as he goes live with Metallica, Pantera, Five Finger Death Punch, live in concert in Pittsburgh. Get your tickets now on Ticketmaster at 681-222-7646. It's Vaughn Haggerty. He has a beard, he loves it. He walks around the streets of Shinston with a Cougar shirt on. He likes Shinston. His name is Vaughn. Feliz Navidad, and get your wreaths for December 15th. And you can check out Vaughn driving a monster truck, Bigfoot, Pantera, Spit in the Air, Popcorn, and Kids of all ages. It's Vaughn Haggerty. Get your tickets this weekend, 681-222-7646. You can buy the seat, but you only need the edge. Okay.
Hey, listen,
See how
Todd.
we do
I
that?
see, but next time I'm gonna need a raincoat for all that spit that was coming out of it.
Listen.
That's just what we like to call those podcast orgasms.
Was anybody watching Todd? Because he looked like a bobblehead on your dashboard. You do that perfect, Todd.
Oh yeah.
Look at him.
Look at that.
Look, you got.
He's a bobblehead. Bobblehead Todd. Bobblehead Todd.
Oh, yeah.
Bobblehead Todd.
Yeah, well.
Go. Bobblehead Todd. Bobblehead Todd.
Chuck can tell
Bobblehead
you.
Todd.
Yeah,
Go.
yeah.
Go.
Chuck can tell you how he perfected that motion.
Does he practice in the mirror?
Thanks, Derek.
Okay, let's talk about something. Let's go back.
Oh, sorry about
There
that.
you go. That was it.
Oh, yeah.
I got that one.
Get away from my husband.
Get away from my man. Okay.
I'll see you on
Hey,
the deck.
listen, I don't care what we do. I gotta have a monster truck photo with Vaughn Haggerty.
Vaughn Haggerty in
coming
it?
out of it. I gotta have.
We have
one
to
of
do
those.
that.
We gotta do that.
I'm all choked up now. November 22nd, that is Thanksgiving. One thing about Thanksgiving that we do love in Shinston specifically, especially if you like to run, is the Shinston Turkey Trot.
Yes.
it's all about the Marie Gaston 4-H Scholarship Fund. What happens is last year they had a very big turnout, close to daggone well, if not over 1,000 people came in this thing. It was the biggest one they ever
It
had.
had the most runners, I think.
Yeah.
I think they was just a hair under
1,000.
Maybe like 3 or 4 people, something like that.
Yeah, we got to break that 100,000.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably 3/4 of them knew us.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this year they're looking. I talked to Jason. They're looking to try to get 2,000. It's going to be big. They're going large. Now, the cool thing about this is the proceeds go to, once again, the Marie Gaston Scholarship, 4-H Scholarship Fund. Now, what that means is the 4-H is fantastic. See, I was never. I didn't know too much about 4-H. Recently, I have become accustomed to it. We've been doing some research with them. We've been working with them a little bit, and it's crazy to think the character building that they do with the kids now. I mean, you could go up to 21. They're doing robotics, engineering. They're doing some crazy things, and it's fantastic. Not to mention, like I said, with the community service and things that just building better people and leaders of tomorrow, so to speak. We learned that in Boys State. But anyhow, Shits and Turkey Trot.
Boys State, American Legion sponsored.
Yeah.
Right. ShitsandTurkeyTrot.com. Check it out. You're going to find out all the information. You're going to see the actual race track per se, the plan,
the course.
The course. Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. But they have same day registrations. You can go in there and like I said, you're going to see all this stuff either on Facebook or actually on their website. And people love to run. I don't. I get the runs every now and then, but I don't actually run. But
like when you come back from Mexico.
Listen,
Oh, that was horrible.
that was about 10 days stretch of Montezuma's
He had
revenge there.
He had one more day, and he was going to get antibiotics. Like he was a bad shape, boys.
I don't see how much stuff I had in there. I mean, it was that. But anyway, that's about my extent of running.
I think the best part of the Turkey Trot too is they can come meet you. Right?
Well, that's true. Or you, Jim. Or Derek.
Yeah.
Or Chad.
All the Rogan Radio crew.
We're all there.
We're all there.
Yeah, and you can see if you go actually on the website, you'll actually see some of the videos that we've done. If you've never ran in a 5K or if you've never been to the Shinston Turkey Trot,
You don't have to run. You can walk.
Even if you don't know what a
you're
K
right.
is.
It's a walk or a run. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that
Even
up.
if you don't know what a K is.
I mean,
Yeah.
Because I'm
5K,
telling you
5J.
what.
Hold on.
This chick's walking.
You're walking.
Oh, I didn't train. I'm not running from nothing. There's a bear after me. I'm running. But other than that, I'm walking.
But I'm glad you brought that up because it is a run or a walk. 5K run or walk. They let the runners go, and then they let the walkers
you can
go.
have teams and have
Yeah.
people with you and your friends and walk together.
And it's an absolutely
great.
fantastic time. Check out the website.
And you
They
can
have
dress up too.
and they have team registrations. They have people dressed up as pilgrims, dressed up as turkeys, dressed up as Count or the Dracula, just to make Todd feel a little bit bad.
Have fun with it.
Yeah. And do it for a good cause because once again, it all benefits the 4-H, the Marie Gaston 4-H Scholarship Fund. Yeah, and it just it's amazing. It's amazing what they do there. But the Shinston Turkey Trot's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
And then after you go, then you can go ahead and eat for your Thanksgiving meal, and you can just be all, Laura, you're a runner,
come
aren't
from
you?
all over.
I am a runner, absolutely.
Now,
But I've never done that one. I'm
Well,
going
you
to add
need
that to
to.
my list. I'm going to add that to my list.
Listen,
Oh, you gotta do
Jeff,
it.
you'll be out of town, right? You know what? Part of your support system, we're going to put a camera on you, and you can
A
come to
GoPro.
the
I've
Shinston
got a
Turkey Trot.
GoPro just
GoPro.
for you.
Oh,
And you
snap.
can be part of the film crew.
Now don't fall down because remember that blooper reel. Don't fall
Don't fall
down.
down. Or don't have it upside down.
Don't have it
Oh,
upside
yeah.
down.
Snap. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
I'll
Derek,
do
People
that.
come from all over to run in that, and little old Shinston.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, it's big too. I mean, we were saying before I interrupted.
Well, I was
you
going to say they can register now at the ShinstonTurkeyTrot.com, or they can register same day as long as they start at 8, and the race starts at 9. Right before 9 o'clock is when the little kids do their
it's fun.
do their run.
watching. Yep.
What do they call that? The waddle, the gobble wobble.
Gobble wobble.
Yeah, that's pretty good too. That's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
Jacob
Gobble,
would
gobble,
love
gobble,
that
gobble,
too.
Yeah, the gobble wobble. And
Last year they were crazy. They had a lot of kids participate in this thing.
and
Yeah.
Colt was so mad about that gobble wobble because he went and did that while we were filming, and he was mad. He was like, "Huh, I got beat." I'm like, "It's all right, buddy." He's like, "No, it's not. Next year I'm winning." I'm like, all right.
Yeah, she won't beat me 2 years in a row.
I just laughed about it. But no, it's a great thing, and I wish everybody would share that and come out and just participate and just spend the Thanksgiving morning, just benefiting a great cause. That's what I'd hope
Because it's
people
very early. It's
Yeah.
very early in the morning, so you
Right.
still have time to get home and
Yep.
get done.
And it's a nice atmosphere. I mean, that is. I mean, I believe it or not, I've actually been on a couple 5Ks. If you can believe it. back in my
He
younger
didn't say
days.
he ran them. He was in them.
No,
Not
most
since
certainly.
you've been a custodian. I can
No,
tell you
it's
that.
been. Now listen, this
Put
would have been.
signs up or what?
No, listen. This was probably
something
late
chasing you?
'90s.
I think so.
Late '90s. It was one of them. I think actually both of them were in Preston County, up in Kingwood.
You're a
Wow.
stud,
Yeah,
man.
I actually
You're
did
a
that.
stud.
Now listen, I didn't do anything special for it. I used to
Like
run.
run?
I used to run.
Yeah.
No, I used to run from East Shinston down to where I would say Irving Supply before the shop and save was there, back home again.
Because the dad came home and you had to jump out the window.
A B C D E F.
There you go.
So anyway, so I thought I was going to be something special. I went up to Preston County, right?
You are something
and I
special.
thought I was going to. It was down at the hospital, started at the hospital, ended at the hospital, or the fairgrounds, where the Buckwheat Festival is, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so I thought I was going to be something great. Yeah. So I started out, man. First quarter mile, I was like a marathon runner from Olympus itself.
Like a marsupial flying after its prey.
I don't think marsupials go after their prey like that, but I tell you right now. But anyway, no. So the rest of it. Listen, anytime I saw somebody, I would run, even if it would hurt. When somebody wasn't looking, I was walking because I had pains in my side. I was like, "This is not for me. This is not for me." But I have been. I can say I have been in 2 5Ks.
Wow.
Rachel Ashby said that after being a custodian that you probably couldn't even walk that whole 5K.
Wow.
I think that's a challenge. You know what?
Hey, you know what?
Wait,
Put a
is-
broom in his hand. I bet he'd
I
go.
bet he will. I bet if you push one of them mop buckets, you're coming first.
Actually, the broom doesn't work for him. He's got to use a vacuum cleaner.
Oh,
Because
vacuum
the bristles, as it's
Oh,
going
helps
around,
pull
it
it
actually
forward?
pulls him
Okay,
forward.
okay,
you know?
okay.
Self-propelled.
AEIOF, all of you. Right? Is that all of you is actually their vowels too, right?
That's what
That
Vanna was
includes
saying.
Richelli. I can't believe you'd say that, Richelli.
I think she was only joking. Now, she didn't
Yeah,
follow
of
that up with
course,
an
we're all
LOL, but that's what she meant.
So, all right, speaking of that.
Put LOL on it, but
Okay,
She put a
speaking
smiley face.
Okay, at least
Yeah,
she was
so
being kind of
winky
nice.
face, I think.
Wait, so are you going to participate in the
We're
turkey
going to
trot?
video it. Listen,
Are you running
thinking
it?
about-
Wait, is he running
No.
it?
I'm
Is he
thinking
running
about it.
I'm
No, no,
almost.
I'm thinking about it.
I'm
gonna
almost
walk.
50
I
years
won't
old.
run.
See,
I
Chuck, here's the thing. A lot of people say run, and they picture running.
Yeah.
You can jog.
Yeah, just a nice, gentle.
doesn't matter.
Is it
if he has a
jogging? You know,
GoPro,
like
we'll
that-
still
like
catch a
that.
man dying.
Hey, babe, do you like that
can even jog with a
Baywatch
soft J.
jog? Like that sexy Baywatch
Listen, if I could
jog.
run a 5K in slow mo, listen,
Yes.
I can do that.
I think you
With
guys
chariots of fire in the
Yeah, I was
background.
just thinking that.
Hold,
Talk about a video.
can I run towards Bo Derek?
Bo Derek.
Can I do that?
I haven't heard
you should
forever.
you should wear the
Bo Derek
red
now.
swimsuit.
Yeah.
Red.
No,
like a-
you should
And have
you
the hair
should dress up
braided.
like a Superman,
Yes,
but
have the
call
hair
yourself
braided,
a Shinstone man.
Shinston man dressed up as
green. No, get it. Green
Superman.
tights. Green tights. Black cape. Big
Yeah.
RR on your
It could be
chest.
taken wrong.
Yeah.
Rogan Radio man.
Ooh, I could dress up as the green. I could
Like
now
the
listen,
Green Lantern, right?
I could be like the Green Lantern.
Not a ladder. Green Lantern.
I could be the Green Lantern.
Because Lord knows his ass won't get up on a ladder.
No, it won't. No ladder
Oh
there.
my God.
That's
I love
messed
it.
up.
I
So
love it.
either way, you should dress up is what we're all trying to say.
Ah.
Yeah.
See, normally I dress up, but that's when Michelle's not home because whenever she comes home, she goes, "Get out of my clothes." And I'm like, "What do you mean? What's wrong with that?"
Now we know
What's wrong
that.
with that?
Stretch out my underwear, babe.
I'll say you're.
Listen, the listeners didn't see you with that thong on. We all did.
Unfortunately.
And it had the little
my
Victoria's Secret right across the right butt cheek too.
And I had the little
Yeah.
butterfly tattoo right there on the inner thigh. Oh yeah,
Really? I didn't see that.
that's right.
That's because his belly was hanging down over it. You lift that belly up.
Sounds like a deck party,
Sorry.
boys.
I'm sorry, Chuck. I was just joking around.
You know
Chuck.
what? You
No
guys
more
are
deck time
funny,
for
but
you.
I was only joking when I said
Next
that.
time you step on my deck, I'm going to tell you to get off my deck. To get off my deck.
I
All
think
of
we
you.
should all go meet on the deck right
The only person that's going to be allowed on my deck from now on is Chad.
What's
He
that?
can get on my deck anytime.
As long as I bring the beer, right?
That's all right. I'll need something.
You remember the first time Chad came here, Chuck?
Yes, I do. Chad brought about
How much
16.
about, like,
Chad brought about
pizzas and-
Chad brought about
cases.
16
Six
six cases
cases
of Miller
of-
High Life.
Miller High Life. And the funny thing about that is you're not
5
even allowed to
ton of
drink
pizza
Miller
bread.
High Life anymore.
Yeah.
He's allowed.
What?
No, I'm not allowed because the Miller High
Is
Life.
there any Miller High Life in here?
Nope.
There is not, but that is not because he's not allowed.
Chuck?
That's a lie.
What kind
I'm
of
not
wife
allowed.
were you making me
Technically
out
speaking,
to be?
technically speaking, I am not allowed because what happens is with the Miller Life, when this place was a bachelor pad, Miller Life was the official drink of the podcast.
Miller High Life.
Michelle comes along and all of a sudden she's this Miller Lite chick. So we're like, okay, we'll
she
get
has
some
to
Miller
drink
Lite
the
and we'll
skinny
have
beer.
Miller Life.
Just
Yeah.
natural. You just bend to what they want.
So it's just
know?
like, why am I going out and buying a 30-pack of Miller High Life? Why am I buying a pack
Good
of Miller
man,
Lite?
Jimmy. He's a good man.
Hey, it's what you do.
So then obviously.
Happy wife, happy life.
Anyway, let's talk about this top 10 list.
Okay.
Let's go.
We have a top 10 list tonight. Top 10 reasons. These are the top 10 reasons to
come
go
to
to work naked.
Nah.
Woo.
In the
starting
bar.
this one.
In your birthday
Jimmy's
suit.
starting this one. At number 10.
All right, at number 10, top 10 reasons not to come to work naked. Number 10 is no one ever steals your chair.
That's true. That's true. Number 9 gives Bad Hair Day a whole new meaning.
Number 8 diverts attention from the fact that you also came to work drunk.
I like it.
Darren, number 7.
Number 7. People stop stealing your pens after they've seen where you keep them.
No joke. At first, I've had so much moonshine, I thought that said people stop stealing your penis after they're seeing where they came from. So I was like, no, I'm glad Darren wrote it. Chad, go ahead. Go ahead with number 6.
Okay, number 6. You want to see if it's like the dream.
I think
Michelle, go ahead.
Top 10. Oh.
You're at number 5.
Number 5.
Cut her off.
Damn you, Mark Coffee.
Cut her off, Mark Coffee.
Okay. Number 5. Oh, wait, just give me just a second.
Oh, no.
Derek McIntyre, number 5.
Number 5. Stop those creepy programmer guys from looking down your blouse.
Yeah.
Wait, number 4. I've got myself together. I'd love to chip in, but I left my wallet in my pants.
Yeah.
All right.
I felt like she was meant to say that one.
Maury, go ahead, number 3.
Inventive way to finally meet that special person in human resources.
Who wants number 2?
I go one.
Go, Brucey.
Can take advantage of your computer monitor radiation to work on your tan.
Hey, listen.
And number 1.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. I was going to give this one to Jimmy. He really liked it.
Me. Okay. Go ahead, Chuck.
All right, and the number 1 reason
Number 1.
to come to work naked or to go to work naked,
Yeah.
your boss will never say, they will never say, I want to see your ass in here by 8 o'clock ever again.
That's good.
That is our number 10 list for our November 11th, 2018.
Phew,
I like it.
This has been a crazy episode.
And you know what, Jimmy? Chuck wanted a. Chuck wanted a. He wanted
It's
like
been nuts coming off of a top 10 list talking about going to work naked.
See what happens when Cuddle shows up with the shine?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Shit, we're all getting tangent here tonight, boy.
Down here.
Let me ask you about this. Let me ask you about leftovers. We were going to get to this
There
last
you
week.
go. That's
We were going to get to this last week, but we did not.
Oh, okay.
First of all, there are things. Let's go. Do you eat leftovers? Do you not eat leftovers?
Nope.
Yes.
Derek
around
doesn't.
the table.
Maury does.
Oh, I do.
Chad.
Yes.
Yep. Michelle. Cuddles. Jeff. Yes. Cindy. Absolutely. Brucey.
Yes.
Jimmy.
Depends on what it is.
No.
all day, every day. Till
Every
it's
day.
gone, Chuck.
All right.
Yep.
Let me ask you this question. What is a good leftover? What's something that you would, keep over, and what's something you wouldn't?
Ham.
Let me give you an example. Okay.
Well,
One thing that I love as a leftover that I'll eat 6 days later is, say, a roast. That roast can be in there for 3 weeks, and I'll still eat it. One thing that I find doesn't take well in the refrigerator, say, like tacos.
Yeah.
Like if you go to, and there's something about that you get mushy,
Well,
and
Mexican
you can't,
restaurant, like
and you can't heat them up
leftovers.
well.
Ugh.
Well, you can just you can't heat them up. You can't heat it up very well.
No.
You know what I mean? So what's something that you would really like to see in the refrigerator as a leftover? If you looked you're like, no, maybe I wouldn't eat that. You actually throw it away before you take it as a leftover. Spaghetti's another one. I love
French fries.
French fries,
French
good
fries,
or
you
bad?
can't
Bad.
reheat it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it never tastes the
you
same.
tried to, you tried to reheat them,
Yeah.
and yeah,
They never taste the same.
No, they
Never
don't.
do.
My thing is with anything that's fried. Anything that's been fried,
It's
once you
not
put
really-
it in the fridge, It just
Fried chicken still tastes good.
Depends.
yeah,
Depends on how you heat it up.
Depends on the breading.
Okay,
how you
Chad.
heat it up.
Oh,
yeah. See, Jimmy said it right there. It's kind of you don't want to heat it up in a microwave, but if you heat it up in the oven, you're in good shape.
It's
Same
still
thing with
just a
pizza.
little.
I only like my pizza heated back up in the oven.
Yep.
I don't like it. Like
Now,
it.
here's
You don't
a
eat
question,
cold
here's a
pizza?
question I'll ask you.
I
Oh,
hate
I
cold pizza.
Oh, I freaking love cold pizza.
When you reheat, like when you go to reheat something like, say, meatloaf or meat or anything like that, who puts water in it?
I add a little bit.
Add a
You
little bit
gotta
of
have-
water.
yeah, 'cause it's dry.
Because if you don't,
It
just
depends.
Dries, it dries out.
Or just like Cassie said, spaghetti here. Like if I'm reheating spaghetti, I'll put like butter or something in it to kind of get.
Oh, see, I don't want
butter or more sauce.
Okay,
or
Paula
more sauce.
Dean.
More sauce to
Paula
kind
Dean.
of get it so not
Okay.
dry.
There is.
Jimmy
So I just
Dean.
add a little bit of water.
Jimmy Dean.
Listen,
right
there because the reason the microwave works is it actually heats up water, whatever water molecules. That's the only reason it heats up anything. So if you have nothing with water in it, it's not going to heat up anything. That's why things explode. Like if you put an egg in there,
Hot dogs.
you know, hot dog, sausage. You put anything sausage in there or ham, something with a lot of water in it, man, that thing will just go popping and explode on you for the most part.
Forks. Forks blow up.
Do you when you put something
Pop-Tart wrappers.
when
Yeah,
you,
Pop-Tart wrappers.
what's something so
Aluminum foil.
spaghetti? Now, see, I don't mind like fried stuff. That I would kind of be with that a little bit. Anything. It depends. Like say if it's enchiladas, like something flour. Anything corn, I do not like as a leftover. So anything flour, I don't mind it. I can heat flour up okay. I don't really care for the taste like a corn tortilla. Leftover.
Because it's like
not
corn-
not leftover. Not leftover.
Okay, as the
because it's like
only
cardboard.
honorary Hispanic in me, yes, you
Hola.
can reheat it.
Yeah, but see, I don't care for the taste. That's one of
Well,
those things for me.
what
I
he's
just don't-
saying is he's dumb enough to actually put it together first and then put it in the fridge. That's where the problem is. See, if you keep all the ingredients separate and then go to eat it the next day,
So you're saying like the sogginess of it.
yeah.
So what?
The taste.
Well, you know,
the
now let me
sogginess.
as being the token Hispanic in the room, Maury.
As I always am.
Let me ask you this because this is crazy. I love a tortilla chip, okay, and I love nacho or like a taco.
That was so cute how you said that. I was like tortilla chip.
Hey,
Tortilla. No, it was like your gringo accent. It was like, oh, that was so cute.
I love tortilla.
Tortilla.
Yeah, tell some more
Tortilla.
gringo accent,
over
man.
I'll have you as a leftover.
But and I like corn.
Get the boys a room.
I like corn when it's a taco shell. But now when it comes to an enchilada, I don't like it. Burritos I love because it's flour. Enchilada, not so much because it's corn. Now, why is that?
You know what? We're gonna have to next time my mom has taco night or enchilada night. We're gonna have you over.
Oh, Chuck
Yes.
has never been.
No, he never went.
He has
That's
never
right,
been.
Because you guys
Is
were
it- is it-
barely dating.
is it a
It is
fiesta?
at that
well,
time.
well,
It's
yeah.
my
there's
mom.
a whole
Oh,
story.
she's amazing. Like it's yeah.
It
you
was.
ask any of our friends. Todd, you want to come to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
He's like offering
Listen,
himself.
Maury, Todd's been wanting to come for 30 years. So don't even talk about it.
Well, if you let him on your
He
deck, we wouldn't have a
loves
problem.
Mexican food.
Yeah.
You guys will never eat like you eat Maury's mom's. Mexican
Wait.
food. No, I'm being
Don't do
serious.
it.
Get your mind out of the gutter,
Michelle,
boys.
Don't
Get
do
your
it.
mind out of the gutter.
That's
right.
Get your
Mom,
mind.
I don't want to
All
come
right.
over.
Okay, let's back to leftovers.
I don't want to come over no more.
Brucey, what
What
do you
is
think?
wrong with you, boys?
Brucey, what do you think?
What I wouldn't eat is myself.
Yeah.
Like-
I wouldn't eat yourself
You
either.
wouldn't eat yourself. Bruce, if I could bend over that
No,
far, I would.
well, here's the thing. I probably eat any food in general,
Yeah.
but I would avoid to eat in a few days would be raw fish.
Raw fish, now that would be a good one too.
Yeah,
yes,
See, that's
yes,
good.
yes.
Scott
Yeah.
Swagger says mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
He would not eat mac and cheese.
Now, here's the thing about mac and cheese. You got to add a little water to that mac and cheese.
Oh yeah, you gotta add a little water.
I will reheat mac and cheese.
I refuse to
or
eat it.
maybe even a
Butter
little
with
milk.
mac and cheese.
I've
milk,
never,
yeah.
I've never had mac and cheese, and I
Michelle.
never will have the
Michelle.
mac and cheese.
Hey,
Well,
you make
that's
him
good.
some-
That's good.
Will you make him some mac and cheese?
he will not
I
eat
won't
it.
eat
It
it.
doesn't
Is
matter.
it the texture?
Texture.
No, the thing is,
Don't go there.
if
Don't go there, Jim.
All right, so back to the Mexican food. So I think
Oh,
it's the
okay.
ingredients. I
Okay.
think and then that makes the reheated tasteness of it different.
Okay.
So I think wait till you have some legit, authentic Mexican.
Yeah, you gotta go to Maury's
You know
mom's
what?
batch.
Yeah,
I'm
I-
telling you, you
yeah.
never
I
eat
did-
It
anything
does
like
make a
that.
difference.
I
The
did
freshness.
post a video about the real Mexican people tasting so-called you know,
American
that-
style.
American
Mexican.
style,
They say
just like Asian cuisine,
Yeah,
same thing.
it's-
How
it's
it
just
tasting,
not
it's
right.
so different.
When
Real
Lori
Mexican
Smoke
thing.
cooks,
Fake
I
Mexican.
literally make myself sick.
No, because like
'Cause you
some of the
eat so
dishes,
much.
I eat
Jimmy,
so much that
they're
I-
actually supposed to not be drenched with cheese. They're supposed to be like the spices, the different taste of it, and it's just.
Yeah.
I don't know. The authentic.
Authentic,
having a
it's the
blast.
best.
Authentic.
It's the
None of
best.
these boys know the authentic.
no.
No, I know.
They can
We
laugh
gotta bring
away.
Chuck, though.
Yeah.
We got to bring Chuck to
We
your
got to bring
mom's.
Chuck to the
Yes,
next one.
because-
And
Well,
Todd.
and Brucey.
And Todd.
Brucey, have you had
The
Brucey?
whole Rogan Radio.
Brucey,
crew.
have you ever had authentic Mexican?
I don't believe so.
I mean,
don't
you're
believe so.
you're Mexican, right?
For me, everybody think I am.
Have you had authentic Japanese?
Yes.
Bruce has a little Mayan in him.
So,
little Mayan.
well, let me ask you this, Bruce, because I love Shogun. I love that place.
Okay.
How realistic is Shogun? I
Well,
mean,
the first about the
authentic, I should say.
Well, chef have to be trained to
Right.
make that cuisine for first.
Right.
So, if let's say I myself being Japanese,
Right.
if anybody else makes something,
Oh, we lost you.
Oh, it come out. It,
Oh.
All right, try it again.
anybody else something.
There you go.
Let's say you just learned to cook some Japanese food.
Right.
I say, okay, I'll give it a try, but I'm kind of becoming hesitant.
Right.
But if somebody say I've been trained for 20 years, I said, okay, then
Right.
I go for that.
Well, let me ask you this, Bruce. When you go to a Japanese restaurant,
Okay.
you walk in and you sit down.
Yeah.
Do you want somebody at a Japanese steakhouse to be Japanese as the chef, or because most of the time they're not?
They're not. Well, actually, when I went to Shogun,
Yeah.
with the server girls, I said, well, I pointed the finger. I wanted this. I want this. And she said, I hope you know these are no authentic Japanese.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
they actually apologized.
So they know.
Yeah. Then I
So
said,
they were assuming you were authentic.
well, then you.
And you're really Australian. What did they know?
well, I
Like, seriously?
yeah, it changes. Depends on my day or mood. And stuff.
The chameleon.
Yeah.
Listen,
What a stereotype.
you know what? That's what's nice.
waitresses.
That's what's nice. See, Bruce could go commit a crime. And BOY could flash up something looking for a 5'7", dark Asian man. So then they see Bruce walking down the street and they arrest him. He goes, I am not a Japanese. I am not an Asian. I'm from Mexico. So then, or I'm from Australia, mate.
right.
Give me that, Bruce.
How you doing, mate?
See?
See? It's a very good Australian.
All right, so let me ask you guys this. So everybody likes mashed potatoes, right?
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
If they're real.
If they're real.
If they're real.
No. I know.
Will you put your corn or your green beans or something in your
Yes.
mashed potatoes?
Corn
Yes.
always
I do too.
I take a spoon, I make a big old crater in it.
Yep.
I put
Exactly.
the corn in
No.
there.
Yep.
Well, you know what?
Yep.
Here's the
No,
thing.
ew.
Always.
Ew.
You don't like
Ew.
that?
Michelle and I, we like ours
We
separate.
don't
no,
mix
no.
food.
We don't
Well,
mix.
It
No,
all
I
gets
don't,
mixed
I
up.
don't.
in-
No mixing
No, we
here.
don't
mix
We
it.
stay
No.
to the straight ticket, boys.
Separate.
Why would you take a fantastic pile of mashed potatoes with gravy?
It's all going to the same place.
That might be
baby.
true, but why would you want to? Why would you want to put corn and lima beans and whatever else you people put in there?
Yeah,
mac
but you
and
know what?
cheese. Why would you want to put that on mashed potatoes?
Then here's my perspective. The question for you:
Oh.
how you explain the fried rice?
Yeah, fried rice.
Listen, Bruce.
You're ruining everything.
Turn his mic off.
Don't listen. Quit making me seem to be a hypocrite. Stay on
Japanese
topic.
or
Fried
Chinese?
rice is Chinese.
Chinese. Okay.
I love fried rice.
No, you know what? When it comes to mashed potatoes, I'm very picky about certain things.
Chuck likes chili on his mashed
Oh,
potatoes.
No, I don't
listen,
absolutely
Chuck
despise
is
that. I
the
would not do that.
pickiest person I've ever met.
Now listen, I
besides
love
Mia.
chili. I love mashed potatoes. I don't love chili and mashed potatoes. I hate Parmesan cheese.
I don't like Parmesan.
I hate ricotta cheese. You know
Oh,
what?
I don't like ricotta.
But
Chuck
I-
does not
yeah,
eat
but
anything
you-
white
No.
or
It's
green.
It's like spoiled
But you know
milk
what,
and
Jimmy?
six.
I don't-
Mayonnaise.
Yeah.
like mayonnaise.
I swear.
Like mayonnaise. What's so manly about mayonnaise? Nothing. I'll tell you what it looks like that's manly, but there's no reason that's why I don't eat it. There's no freaking way. There's no freaking way. What's cute about cuticles? Nothing. Hysterectomies. It should be called a hysterectomy, not a hysterectomy. There's no male in hysterectomy. We've talked about this for asteroids,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
or hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids.
Should be called asteroids.
Okay. Yeah, they should be called asteroids. or transvesteroids. It should be something because it goes across both. There's no. I mean, that is very gender specific. It is a hemorrhoid. Well, what if it's a heroid?
Yeah.
You know?
What about menopause? Why is it men?
Why? Yeah. Why?
Yeah,
because men have to pause everything. Yeah. They can't. They have to pause being men. They have to pause chopping wood. They have to pause clean. They have to pause everything until you get over this scene of whatever the hell's going on with you because of your hormones. It's like, okay, everybody on pause. Don't talk. Don't move. Don't do nothing. Stay the hell out of trouble. Go pause yourself. Men pause.
It all comes down to the confusion of women.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did I say that out loud?
And corn in your mashed
glad
potatoes.
that you guys. I'm just so glad that you guys.
They all sound so cute,
realize
don't
that.
they?
They
Bashing
do.
on women. It's so
They
cute.
truly do.
But
You
they
live
couldn't-
for the women.
They do. They couldn't
Go,
live without
go,
us.
men.
They
Here we
couldn't
go.
live without us.
Go, men.
Boy, I'll tell you what. Whatever
Can't live
happened.
without him. Can't shoot him. You know what else about the mashed potatoes?
You're uninvited to taco night.
Oh.
After that. Yep.
You're not
Yep.
eating Maury's Mom's taco now.
Oh snap! Oh snap!
You're out.
Chuck, why is your
Out.
face so red, huh?
Of moonshine.
Yeah, the
Oh,
moonshine.
moonshine.
Yeah,
Chuck told me to say that. He told me to say that. Chuck did.
Shuck?
Yes.
Is his new name Shuck?
Yeah,
Shuck it to you.
Chuck told me to say that.
He was sitting there waiting on that one. He was waiting.
He was waiting. He
I was like a
waiting.
shark
he
in the
like
water.
lined it up for him. Definitely.
Yeah, he did.
Good. Todd's out.
He was like a
Todd's
cheetah.
out.
He was
That's
like
it.
a
He's
cheetah
out.
on prey right there. Buddy.
Hey, Todd, I'll eat enough for you, for you.
Hell yeah. Oh, wow. Watch this Saturday as Michelle goes to Lori's house and eats her mom's tacos. Extra cheese.
Just more than one.
Oh. Anyway, okay, let's get back on topic. See, Maury, Jeff, you see what happens around here? I told you it was a crazy. Maury, it's craziness, but it's fun, isn't
It's
it?
fun. It's
You have to
fun.
keep
You know
up.
when the last time we had this much fun in the studio?
Never.
Last Sunday?
The last time that Mark Coffey was here.
That's true.
That's probably
Every
right.
time. Mark.
Oh, we missed you,
No, I don't think so.
You know, we just talked about this before the show. Me and Todd just talked about this.
We
because
did, we
Chuck
did.
had an idea for another top 10 list, and we were like, that's
He's like,
so boring.
He's like, give me a top 10 list of current events.
Yeah,
I'm like,
what?
What the hell is
What's
that?
the show becoming?
That's horrible, Chuck. And then we thought, you know what?
We got to take the show back.
Oh, wow.
There was-
Take it
there-
back.
There was like a coup going on tonight.
It was.
There was a coup.
Yeah, like a
It
puppy.
was great, too. I liked it.
Like cooter. Coo.
It was cute.
All right, Maury, once again, December 15th, tell us about the wreath.
Just
Wreath across America.
Do your part. You can either sponsor Wreath, invite somebody, or go ahead and chip in. Or
And just go
actually,
to the website.
And go to the website. Yep.
WreathAcrossAmerica.org.
Nice.
And it's
.org.
posted.
So do
and-
your part.
Yeah,
It's your way of thanking the men and the women and definitely doing your part and
And once
acknowledging
again,
them.
there are 14 locations around our area here in West Virginia, and if you look at the map, you will see plenty of places wherever you are in the United States.
1,400 locations within the United States.
So there is some place close to you to
Yep,
do that.
There's a reason. Yep.
Yes, and
And
it's
if you ever
fantastic.
get a chance to participate in that up at the Grafton National Cemetery in Grafton, get it, man. You got to go. It's something. It's something to see.
Yeah.
It really is.
Fantastic.
It's just
Fantastic.
nice, despite what's going on in our, political climate, that everybody comes together
Right.
and
As they should.
really
Yeah.
remember and are
Right.
appreciative of those men and women.
Well, one thing, and I'm just going to say this because normally we don't talk about politics,
Right.
But I will say
Oh,
this.
snap.
No, you're fine. But what I will say this is that one thing people need to differentiate: you have the political system, then you have America. Okay,
Right.
the government is not the United States. The United
Exactly.
States is all of us and combined. So we have to kind of maybe let that thing be good. Now we you have your feelings upon it, but like what you're saying with the Wreath Across, there are times too where it doesn't matter if you think this way, but you're still an American. So we're going to go ahead and be together.
Love your neighbor.
And then we'll
Love your
we'll-
neighbor.
easy.
That is.
yeah, and it's just so much easier if you don't look at somebody as a Republican or a Democrat, and you look at them as like a person. So you might have your ideas, and you might be messed up in the head, but let's go put this wreath on here together,
Right.
Because that's cool.
Because
you know
that's
what I
the
mean?
right
Because
thing
we're
to do.
all Americans. It just boils down to we're all
right.
Americans.
Yep.
We're not black, green, red, white.
We all sit on the deck.
And like what Maury's saying,
Thanks,
but
Jimmy.
like you know what Maury's saying though is becoming almost reality because you can see where people are actually looking at other. I don't want anything to do with you because you think this
Right.
way.
That's true.
Or I don't want anything to do with you because you think this way. And you're like, what? Because so now all of a sudden we can't. What happens when something happens and we need each other? You're not going to
Exactly.
want me, or I'm not going to want you, or I can't want you. It's almost going back to the '60s. If you were black or you were white, you could help me fix my car, but I can't because you're black. Or
Yeah.
you know, or
Right.
it's like, Are you being? Is it really going backwards?
Right.
In a lot of ways, it's almost kind of stupid.
It is stupid.
But Maury, you need to come back on the show anytime.
I would love to.
That will be your support system. And Jeff, you can watch from Georgia. We'll call you and we'll make it happen as long as Mark's.
We'll Skype you or whatever.
We'll Skype you.
Skype.
Yeah. We can manicam it.
You can watch it live on Facebook.
Manicam it.
Yeah, we absolutely can.
Yeah.
We'll turn Jeff into Max Headroom.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in Georgia.
Georgia.
It'll be like Mel Tillis, Jeff, Max Headroom. It'll be the perfect character. It'll be a perfect character. But anyway, thanks for everybody coming in. Thanks for David Miner and the Shinson's Lions Club for having us down there yesterday in town. So we could videotape the stuff with the Veterans Parade. Also, the channels, Fred and Julie Channel and the Lincoln High School Band, and even the administration of the school and the Board of Education there in Harrison County for letting us go to Lincoln last week to capture the seniors of the marching band to do that, which turned out really well.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
For next year, I want to put out an invite to you guys, all of us here at Rogan Radio.
Okay.
To after the parade, go to the American Legion and film parts of the ceremony.
Well, see, we did that last year.
Yeah, and I thought about that this year.
And we were if it wasn't for prior obligations, we would have been there because last year it was fantastic because they had Spagnolia.
The whole time last year.
Yeah, because Spagnolia last year gave a great speech last year.
Yeah, some of the honorees they had this year.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know John D. Murray.
Oh no, absolutely.
John D. Murray.
And he has one hell of a story too.
He does. He really does.
And you would never guess that John was our neighbor in Shinston forever, and I would have never known that story.
And, yeah. I mean, even being a pharmacist. I mean, he graduated boot camp and then he got offered a commission as a second lieutenant.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I mean, that's crazy. You know?
Yeah.
But him and Ken Yost and I apologize, I can't remember the other two.
Skinner.
Yeah, Chuck Skinner.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Chuck Skinner, and there was a Hayhurst. Who? Bill Hayhurst.
Yeah.
Yep, that was the Ford that was down there. Yep.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And they always put on a great show over there anyway. It's just,
Yeah, it's a really good event. You know?
Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, so anyway, until next week, and don't forget about the turkey trot. I think that's our next big thing on the 22nd of November. Go ahead to shinsonturkeytrot.com. And you'll see all the information there. You'll see us if you have it's team membership. You can go down and walk or run by yourself. It's 5K through Shinston. We'll be, going ahead and
one more.
Somebody's asking. Yeah. Oh.
Rick Scott said Lumberport Christmas Parade, December the 14th.
December 14th. Because
we're going to be going out of town. So
what way are we out of town?
We're leaving the.
Just to pass the word for everybody to know.
Okay.
Just pass
Rick,
the word.
The 14th and we're leaving for Tennessee on the 15th. We're going to try to make that happen though, because that's normally about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Yes.
Because we want to do something live.
So for everybody out there, December 14th is Lumberport Christmas
Parade.
Parade.
And then we also had another. Somebody said, "Are you going live for the Shinston Christmas Parade?"
Well,
this year?
if we can get, we know Derek and Bruce are out because we have a union function there. But if we can go ahead and get, because Darren, you'll be in this, or we could just we'll figure something out.
We always do.
Yeah,
anybody wants to step in.
Yeah, we'll get it.
because we just need a couple cameras, and then we'll figure it out. Because
we'll
I would
figure
love to
something
do.
out.
Last year was fantastic, and
D-Mac and I hosted.
Yeah, if we could do do Shinston live and Lumberport live, because there are a lot of people around the country that used to come and they love that stuff, and we love doing it.
Hometown.
Yeah, to actually see it. And now we would.
Yeah.
I say if we can possibly do it, you can bet we're going to do it.
Yeah.
All right.
So that would be
Try and
fantastic.
make it happen.
Big old turkey trot, Shinston Parade, Lumberport Parade on the 14th. And it's going to be a busy month again.
Try your turkeys.
My birthday,
22nd.
Try your turkeys.
The 22nd is the turkey trot. Yeah. And then my birthday
Wobble
is on the
your
6th.
gobbles.
My
Wobble
birthday
your
is on
gobbles. Try your turkeys.
December?
December 6th is my birthday. Right
Mine
now.
is November 15th.
November
It's Thursday.
15th?
It's Thursday.
There's a lot of December babies.
You're a December baby.
Listen, December
daughter-
babies.
Jeff is November too.
Lauren, December 18th.
See,
November babies rule.
Wow.
I
Very
think
good.
the January babies rule more. But
Me too, Mari.
Whatever.
just saying, just
Maury
saying.
and I-
January all
Maury
the
and I
way.
have celebrated our birthdays together for like the past 5 years?
Decades.
Yes.
Decades.
Oh, I can
6
say,
years,
hey,
10
listen,
years?
I guarantee it's been at least, 5 decades.
Oh, you're so sweet. He's
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think she's going to be meeting me on that deck.
I'm not impressed.
No, she's not.
I don't think
blame
I'm
her.
gonna
That's
be
all
good
right,
on that
Michelle. I
deck
got a
anytime
deck
soon.
at the house too.
Hold on now. Hey, anyway, on
calls it
behalf
a
of
redwood.
on behalf of Chad Puccio from Monongah, we have D-Mac from Shinston. Mari Moore, always a pleasure once again.
Thank you so
Along with
much.
Jeff, who's in the background over there.
you.
The lovely and talented wood chopper from Webster Springs, Webster County.
Chop that wood, baby.
Michelle.
Chop that wood.
Michelle Rogan. We have Cindy and Darren Harbin. Darren over there on the director's seat, straight from Tokyo, Japan. Bruce Takahashi from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Jimmy Wiz and the best guy, of my wedding. And what else?
Chewbacca of the show.
He's not going to be eating Mari Mar's mom's tacos because he's a butthole sometimes. He didn't get a Transylvania style.
Ousted
I
on
tell
the
you what,
Mexican extravaganza.
there's a
Ousted.
tortilla behind him. He could eat anytime he wants.
Right there, we had the
You're
chip.
ousted, Todd Beck.
He can do dishes, maybe.
That's right.
I'll lick every plate, Bruce.
All right, on behalf of all of us, ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Rogan Radio.
Wave up there.